Good evening, Vasters. Back with me again, I hope. It's the Puppeteer here again. I'm going to do a bit of programming tonight. Just a few housekeeping issues before we start. I am trying something a little bit different tonight to try and improve the quality of the stream. The stream itself should be about the same as before. If you guys see any problems, please just let me know if there's if there's any problems. What I'm doing is I'm recording a separate camera shot and trying to record the screen as well, so that I can composite them later onto using Vegas to upload. Because what's happening with the Ustream software is, while it will record to disk, the recording is exactly the same as what it is on the stream. So I'm not getting any advantage to that. So I've got cameras set up everywhere and light sources set up everywhere and all sorts of stuff happening in the studio to try and improve the quality of the stream a little bit for you guys. Well, it's just not so much the stream, but the recording. I'm not recording the synth today. It's just going to go through the microphone. If this is all successful in that, I'll integrate that into it as well. But it involves buying a new hard drive. So yeah, get the things I do for you wonderful people. What else have we got for housekeeping? Oh, one note of interest for all you guys that aren't yet members of the Mahogany Room. I'm sure there's a few of you that have snuck in to watch the cast, or have managed to find it somehow. Mahogany Room is opening up for one day, sometime in November. Keep an eye tuned to the Kunka forums to find out when that's happening. It'll be a one-day only thing, so if you want to get in and get all the goodies that are in there, and there is a lot of good stuff, yeah, just keep an eye out and see when Brian opens it up for you guys. What else have I done? I've reduced the amount of software that's running on the computer while I'm streaming. I doubt I'm going to be able to do anything like using Ableton Live at the same time. It really does struggle a bit. The laptop I'm using is pretty, well, it's not really old, but it's a few years old now. It was a good laptop when I bought it, but it hasn't got one of the newfangled graphics cards in it. So look, if I want to do this really seriously, I'm going to have to go and pretty much buy a new PC, I think, and put some really good graphics cards in. I'm not going to do that. Certainly not yet, but yeah, so we'll just have to live with the stream as it is, and I will do my best to try and upload a much higher quality video to YouTube. Something else, or other things have been happening. Look, the guys that have thrown some money into the chip-in account, look guys, you're really legendary. I never in my wildest dreams thought that people were going to be sort of throwing 25-30 bucks my way to go. Look guys, I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I was expecting maybe $1 or $2, but seriously guys, you guys are legends, and yeah, it is appreciated like you wouldn't believe. Look, it's inspired me to keep doing these and to try and answer questions that you guys might have about all of your programming and that. So look, if you guys got questions, I got the chat up on a separate computer here, so if you got any questions or comments during the cast here, let us know and I'll answer them, explain what I'm doing and whatnot. So anyway, let's get stuck into it. What I'm going to be doing today is looking at pads. We're going to do a bit of pad programming. Someone was talking about pads earlier, and oh, the rain has come. I hope it hope it doesn't get too heavy. Someone on the stream was asked, or not on the stream, on the forums, was asking about things. Just excuse me a sec, I've just got to change a setting on my phone. So I don't want it to be making a racket while we're streaming. Okay, on silent. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to look at doing some pads. Someone on the Kunka forum said, look, do some pads. So that's what we're going to do today. So it's going to be pretty chilled out. Hope to have a little bit of fun trying to do this. I haven't really sort of thought about the style of pad I want to do, but I guess when programming pads, some of the things that you want to use, it's good to use like tonally rich sound. So Things that have got a lot of harmonics, such as sawtooths, I really like using strings, vocals, things like flutes. A lot of orchestral instruments go really well into pads. Even things like sine waves. If you want to really beef the bass up a little bit, you just add, you can add a sine wave at the bottom, and that will really beef the bottom end of it up. I guess the other key is really a movement. You want your pads, and the pads that I sort of try and do are always moving. So you want some, I don't know, LFOs or envelopes or functions, or I don't know, something just to move the sound around, whether that be panning or filters or whatever. And also effects. You can do quite a bit of effects with your pads to try and get some of that movement. So look, we're going to start with 999 default program. I hope the volume's okay for you guys. I'll sort of turn it down a little bit this time just to hopefully get everything in. So let's go into edit mode. Let's start having a look at this. So first thing we want to do is I'm going to program the bass. And I think we might start with a string. So let's go through here and find some strings. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, the ensemble's nice. I don't like that at top end. Alright, stereo strings, that sounds pretty nice. Alright, so what we'll do is we go to algorithm. What I might do for this, I might put bandpass over it, and we might move the bandpass up and down a little bit and see what we can do with that. So bandpass, I can't remember which one this is on. Oh, there's a bandpass. Alright, so let's let's get this moving up and down. We might just leave it on middle C, and we're just going to start sweeping it up and down. So we might open up the width a little bit at this stage, just so we can not too wide, maybe a little bit. So let's assign an LFO to this. LFO 1, and let's sweep it 4800. So 4 octaves. Oops. Yeah, 4 octaves. Alright, 4 octaves up and down, because the LFO is a bipolar controller, so when you assign it in source 1, it sweeps both up and down. That's why we've left the frequency in the middle. Oops, hang on. That's not the one I want. I want the frequency. Alright. So 4800. Oops. Okay, now let's go and program LFO 1. We might, we'll just make this a normal sine. Yeah, pretty slow. I think we might do it somewhere around here. So. Alright. Let's make this a little bit narrow. Alright, that sounds alright. We've got a little bit of movement there, so so we go back to the algorithm. That's a little bandpass part of it. Alright, what are we? I'm just sort of thinking what else. So that's quite a nice little basis for this. I'll do something with the effects on that a little bit later. I might get a little bit more movement out of it. But let's put in another layer, and I want to put add some bass in this. So I'm going to add just a nice simple sine wave underneath this. just to try and give this some bit of depth and a bit of just a really nice bottom end on it. So let's go and make a new layer. Nice. Oh, there we are. Oh, that's nice. The volume's a little bit too loud on that, so I might put in a I might just go and add a gain block in here just to bring it. Actually, is there a? I forget if there's a pad parameter in these ones here. Oh, there is a pad. Let's just pull it down with a pad. The pads are quite important on the PC3. With the on the K series, like the K2000, K2600, all the blocks flowed into each other really nicely, and never really had any major dramas in terms of the gain staging. But on the PC3, I think they've sort of taken a different approach about, because I think with the K2000, when they did the design, it was all based around the algorithm, and so they built these algorithms that really worked nicely together. But because the PC3 is all built around blocks, I think I don't know whether it's a design limitation or whatever, but certainly the gain staging in these can be quite challenging, and you find quite often that you can overload things quite easily, and that's more commonly what it is. You very rarely ever have to add gain to things. You always want to take it out. So yeah, just be aware that you find that things overload. If you're starting to get a little bit of distortion happening or whatever, have a look for a pad parameter and just pull it out before it hits that block. Shapers in particular, in fact, it's a good idea to pad your shapers in any case, because if you, especially if you're not like nice smooth sounds, because if you pad them down by 6 dB, they're always continuous, so you never get discontinuities in the signal, unless your input waveform's got discontinuities. So you can make you can use shapers in a much more subtle manner just by dropping 6 dB off it. So just a little tip if you ever want to use the shapers in a bit of a different thing to those sort of screeching and howling leads that they're so famous for. Alright, 12 dB is too much. Oh, hang on, I got noise in here. What's going on here? Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, that's nice. About 12 dB off that, so. Now what I might do on this layer is I'm going to get it to, I want it to swell up, so I want that bass not to kick in at the, well, I might have a little bit of kick in at the start, but I want it to fade off and then build back up at the end. So let's do a little bit of, let's do some envelope programming on the amp envelope. Wherever it is, there we go. Turn it off natural. Right, let's just edit this a little bit. So, just trying to work out whether I should do it in the... No, I'll do it in the attack segment. It's probably the best place to do this. So I might take this just down to about 20%. About half a second. And then I want it to build up slowly. And then I want it to decay. I'm going to decay it back to about 50%. I do that a really long time. So. not sure if you can hear that. I'm just having to listen to the sine wave there. It's probably might be a bit low frequency for the microphone, but let's extend that out a bit. That's a little bit better. Alright, let's go back to the other layer. I want to do something about this the bandpass frequency. The LFO is nice, but I sort of want to mix it up a little bit. So I might, what I might actually do is I might assign another controller just to control that. Maybe LFO2 or something like. Actually, what I might do is I might turn globals on for this, and then I'll assign it all to LFO2 so it's global, so that it starts in different spots when you start it. So that'll give it another layer of movement and stuff. So let's just go and have a look at that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for common. Where are we? Common. Turn the globals on. Right, LFOs. Alright. So it's just so rate control, I might what can we do? I might just use LFO1 as a rate control. That's a problem. Yeah, I can't, for rate control I can't use a I can only use another global source. Let me think. What's going to work here? The ASR2, I might do that. Okay, where's my sine gone? Sine. There we go. So let's just go in and edit this. I'm going to put this on repeat mode, so it'll work a bit like a alright. Put a bit of delay on it. I'm just going to put some random numbers in here. I don't really care what they are because I just want it to move the LFO. So. Alright, so I think I still got this assigned to LFO1. Just slow down the LFO. Just to make it a little bit more paddy, because it's sort of more of an attacking sound. So we want to pad this out. Alright, what I'm also going to do on the string sound, I'm going to put a high pass filter over it and get rid of a little bit of the high frequencies here. I'll put something else back in, maybe to add those high frequencies back in with another layer. But I'm just finding a little bit overpowering to my ear, so let's go back to the algorithm. Hopefully there's a one block. Yeah, there's a one block high pass. Oh, sorry, I want a low pass. Sorry, what am I talking about? So let's Alright, I'm just going to go back to the envelopes here. I want to put some release on this envelope as well. So maybe a couple of seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. And I want to do the same on the strings, so let's just... Alright, I'm going to put some attack on the strings as well. Guys, if you've got any questions about what I'm doing, yeah, feel free to ask. If you don't like the sound and want me to take it another direction, let me know. I'm just playing around, having a bit of fun here. So, of course, you can just put some comments up there and just tell me how you're going and what things are like over your side of the world too. It's, the rain stopped here, so it's quite nice. Humid though, humid today. I actually quite like that sound as it is. I'm just going to, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to save this as a, sometimes what I do is when I'm programming, I come across stuff that I like, and in this case what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I just save it, and then maybe I can use that as a starter for another sound, or even just use it by itself. But just sounding like that without any effects on it, and that's a pretty basic pad sound, but it's sounding nice. It's got a little bit of movement already. So look, let's just save that. Let's just call this simple pad. It's probably a nice name for it. Sounds good, distorting those. Okay, let me just I'll just turn it down a little bit. Is that any better there? Hopefully that's a little bit better. I've just brought the sound down a little bit. I'll bring the channel volume down a little bit too. Let's just see if I can. Let me just have a look. I might be able to pull the microphone down a little bit. Come on, mixer, hurry up. Okay. Where's the microphone? Not that one. This one here. Okay, let's have a look at this. Slightly better. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. How about that? Oops, a little bit more. That should be a bit better. hopefully that's a bit better now. The microphone gain was just a little bit too high, so I've pulled it back down. So, all right, okay, let's just finish saving this program. Simple pad, delete that. Much better. Oh, I'm glad. It's actually been doing my head in a little bit trying to find out the the microphone volume in this, and I just sort of remembered that I think it must reset it when it reboot the computer or something. But it's a pain. Anyway, so we've saved this simple pad. Now let's go in there and let's do some more editing on it and make a new pad. Well, make it better. Alright, what I might do is I might do a little bit of panning within Vast here. So let's just bring up the algorithm. We're going to have to edit this algorithm. So I want to select this block here. I need 2 outputs. Oh, actually no, the pan has got... No, I'll do it in effects because the pan has got is a two block thing in here. So I'll do. Let's alright, let's start setting up some effects for this. Probably effects. There we go. So let's just go into here and we're going to add in. I want to Hannah. Oops. Simple panner, that should do it nicely. Let's have a look, see what we got in here. Alright, what I'm going to do for this sound here, is there a difference between the effects pan and algorithm panning blocks? Not really, except that the panning blocks in the effects are global over the entire sound. What you can do with Vast is that you can actually pan different, each individual voice separately if you want to. So you can do things like a sample and hold or a random, and what will happen is each key that you press, it can actually have a different pan position. The other thing I will tell you about panning on the PC3 is with it's actually hardwired to receive pan messages. So if you send a pan message, I think pan is I think it's MIDI controller 10. Let me just bring up my trusty thing here. Oh no, these are wrong here. Anyway, I think pan's controller 10. Oh, sorry guys, I just upset everything here. But it's hardwired to those. So if you send a pan message from your DAW into the MIDI inputs on the PC3. Sorry guys, I'm just going to readjust this while I'm talking because I just bumped the computer. What will happen is that it won't track pan, but what it will do is it will sample it. So really good for drum programming, because what you can do is you send a pan message and you send your note. So if you got let's say you've got a hi-hat pattern and you want to pan it left and right, you can draw in a controller thing, and wherever it is on that pan, that hi-hat will actually pan to that. You don't need to use a pan block for it. So just by sending a panning message, you can get that pan from just from sending it from Cubase or Ableton or whatever. So that's a handy thing to know, and that's 90% of the time that's actually how I use pan. So unless I'm doing pads like this, I'll just yeah, I'll just use the pan messages from within Cubase and that, instead of programming a pan block. But if you need to sweep a pan, you need to use either a panning block or you need to use an effect. So yeah, you can do different things. So if you've got another thing you can do with a pan block, you can actually have it triggered by an LFO. So when you press one key, an LFO will trigger, and you press another one and the other one will trigger. So they can have different, the two LFOs are independent and they're phasing. So each keys, I don't know if you know this, but each key within the PC3, when you press it, it invokes its own LFO. So every single key, every voice has got its own set of two LFOs. Only if you set them globally do they do the same thing. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, certainly in terms of what comes out of the speakers, they're pretty much identical in terms of moving your sound back and forwards. So the only thing you've got to remember if you're doing it within Vast is that when you put that block in, it actually goes into a two-wire block. So you get two things coming out your output page. So you just need to remember to pan one of those to the left and one of those to the right on the output page. But otherwise, yeah, they're all pretty good. So you guys won't be able to hear stereo, obviously, but it does sound nice. It's starting to wave around. I'll upload these programs onto Kunker as well, so you guys can have a play around with them. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use mono pressure to change the panning rate on this one here. So let's just get out of this, go to the mods, and I want to go to box 1, the LFO rate, and I'm going to assign that to mod. So I'll just press enter and push a key down, and I might increase this by another 1 Hertz. Alright, that's really nice. So when you push into that mod pressure, it just speeds it up slightly, just gives it a little bit more presence as it goes around. I might use it. I like using mono pressure on pads because I sort of like to be able to. It's almost the mono pressure on the K2000. The mono pressure was amazing on that. It was so expressive, and it was just like you just push into the keyboard, and it just is really expressive. K2600 lost it a lot. The mono pressure on that was not quite so forgiving. It was very sensitive, so it was almost like an on-off switch. But with the PC3, it seems to have got a bit of that back, so I'm really happy about that. So it's sort of somewhere between the K2000 and the K2600, but it's usable. You can actually use it almost like you can use it like a controller again. All right. Actually, let's do a little bit more editing in here. I might add on a reverb in here. I add a pretty long reverb. Alright, where's the time on here? That's pretty weird, doesn't have a reverb time. Okay. I might just go back and let's just find another one. Something that does actually have a time in here. Alright, this one's got a reverb time. That's better. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in another layer. I want some. I add a little bit of sparkle. You know how I said that we're going to add in a little bit of high frequency. What I'm thinking, I might add in like the Beltry or something like that into this, but have it triggered by the mono pressure. So the mono pressure at the moment speeds up the panning, but I might also just get it to add in the Beltry. So let's just save these. Let's just save these effects. So let's save that. Rename. Simple pad. Simple pad. This is a panner, really. Alright, that's what it is. I run out of characters. Alright, we'll save that. Cancel. Right, I will need to go back to layers. No, sorry, I need to add a layer. Where are we? New layer. Okay. So I'm just going to go to the key map. And let's just do a search for Beltry. Search for guys, it just also just to do this searching, the way that you do it, in case you're not aware of it, just hold down Enter and press one of the number keys, and it brings up a search dialog. And you've actually got 10 of them. So if you keep, like at the moment, I'm pressing Enter 2, and Enter 2's got this bell search string in it. If I keep pressing Enter 2, it'll keep bringing up that one. If I could put another one into Enter 3, so you can have up to 10 different search strings sort of almost preset. And they're not global. So this one here is in the key map. You can have different ones for the effects, for searching in programs. It works pretty much all over the PC3. So it's just a handy little thing to know. If you, I find it's really good for searching for particularly for key maps, because there's so many bloody key maps in this thing. I know there's a Beltry. There it is. All right, I'm gonna take it down by 12 semitones. I might go and edit this as well. See if I can loop it. Okay. Loop. Loop looks like a set, so let's just go back into how do I loop these things? What I want to do is I want to turn this trigger on anyway. So I want the okay. Let's see, how can I trigger this? I'm on the wrong layer. Oh, that's interesting. It's not quite what I want. Let's put that back onto on. Right, one way we can do it. We can do it with this delay. So what we can do is we can set a long. We can set a long delay. I might need to set this to a fun actually, so let's just try fun 2. See if I can do it this way. I've never actually done this before, so let's go exploring. So what I might do is I might just invert this. So we'll turn this on, assign this, and go A minus B. It's only working on the trigger, so that's not really achieving what I want. Alright, there's got to be a way to do this. Can I do it from within here? No, that's not going to do it either. Alright, where else could we do it in here? I have to have a think about how to do this. Yeah, the reverse. What the reverse does, it triggers it on key up. That's again not what I want. It's just not doing. Okay. I might just put a delay in there for now. I might have a think about this a bit more. And well, summarise what I'm trying to do with the bell tree key map. What I wanted to do with the key map is I wanted it to be triggered when I press down on the mono pressure. So I wanted it to do basically not play, and then when I press on the mono pressure, I wanted it to kick in then. And I'm just trying to think of a way to do it. But I don't think you can trigger things quite that way within program mode. So what I've done is I've got an on-off. I've used the switch controller as an on-off controller, so I can disable the bell tree, and then I've put a delay on when it triggers. So I might just assign this to a slider, and let us it's a bit more of a convoluted way to do it. I'll have a think about if there's a way to trigger. I'm sure I used to be able to do this sort of stuff on K26. I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to remember how I did it, but I can't at the moment. It's but anyway, I'll have a think about it. So what I've done now, the switch has to be on, and then the data slider controls when it triggers. So actually, I might just bring that back to 0. So with the switch on like it is now, and the data slider down, triggers immediately. Okay, and then what I've done is I've assigned that to the data slider. What I'm going to do also, I'm going to put a delay on this so that it repeats and then peters off. So let's just go into this into the program effects of this one, and I want to just turn the layer effects on. Alright, so I'm going to insert a some delay here. Alright. Also, what I'm going to do on this, so let's just go into the reverb. That should do it quite nicely. Alright, so what I'm going to do, let's just get rid of this mob that's on here. And I'm going to make this monophonic because no, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the key tracking for this bell tree, because at the top end of the keyboard it's quite high in frequency, so I want it to be more. I don't want the I guess the playback rate to spread as much. I don't want it to be the same, but I do want it to be a little bit less. So let's just get rid of. Let's go out of there and rename. So this is the bell tree. space if just a delay is the main effect that I'm after here. Okay, so let's save that. Alright, so let's go into the is it, I think it's on the keymap page, this one. There we go. Okay, and I might make this one monophonic as well, because when a lot of them come in at once, it sounds a little bit naff. So, where are we? What am I trying to do? Oh, hang on, I'm going to make that entire program monophonic. That's a pain. Okay, how can I do this? Alright, I know how I can do it. I can't. Let's go and do this a different way then. Where are we? Keymap. Let's make this make that 0, and then on the pitch page, what I'm going to do is set this to G low key. So what I'm doing at the moment, guys, is I'm sort of making this sort of monophonic on the layer. So I want G low key and Alright, and I'm also going to put in, I'm going to put an amp envelope on this as well, just to bring it up a little bit more slowly. Alright, now the other thing I'm going to do on the sine wave, I like the sound of that, but what I want to also do is the string sound that's there. I want to send that through a set of parallel effects. I want to maybe put a chorus on it, something just to give that extra bit of movement. So let's go to the, and then I think we might just finish the sound off there, because we've been going for an hour now. So what I might do is I might start wrapping the sound up after I've done that. So I'm going to put some more effects on that string sound. I hope it didn't disappear off the screen then. Anyway. For some reason the screensaver comes on. I don't know. I'll have to turn that off. But I won't do it right now. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go soon anyway because I've got 3 minutes left on the tape. So, all right. So I'll quickly finish off these programs. So I'm gonna add in a auxiliary effect here. I want to turn this up 0. Let's set this to a chorus. Alright, chorus, where are you, chorus? Alright, chorus, here we go. Oh, that's pretty. Alright, so that sounds pretty nice like that. So the only things left to do is really just to add the info pages in, which I'm running out of tape, so I might do that before I post it up for you guys. And yeah, look, I think I'll pretty much get ready to wrap it up. But look, I hope you sort of hope I've given you a few tips anyway about doing some pads. Look, I think the keys really are, look for nice rich sounds and do stuff with them. So you want to put them through filters and move the filters. You want to put them through whatever blocks you've got going through it, assign controllers to it, assign lots and lots of sliders, use your LFOs. And I like to try and have things that are sort of off kilter so that not everything's sort of rhythmic. Some things are just sort of random and they just sort of wish and wash and go all over the place. So that's yeah, that's sort of how I sort of try and do the pads. Look guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Another great show, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Look, I might run another one at some stage and do another pad and maybe just look at some other things. I could seriously, when I program pads, I could do it for hours and hours and hours just on the one sound. Like I could keep going on this for probably another 3 or 4 hours. But I'm not going to, won't do that tonight. So look guys, thanks a lot. I hope the stream quality is not too bad. I'm going to, I'll have a look back over it, and I'm also going to bring stuff off the tape now and see if I can upload a high quality version onto the web for you guys. So look guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you over at Kunker. Yeah, if you got any ideas for more tutorials, let me know. We've got a few coming up. We're going to have a look at riffs. We're going to look at arpeggios. We're going to have a bit more of a look at functions in a bit more detail. So, guys, thanks heaps for tuning in. Thanks for the questions. It really has, it has, I guess, made this a bit more enjoyable for me and a bit more interactive. And yeah, look, I really appreciate it. And guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao!